My name is Mehek. I hope you guys are all fine, and like always I also hope that you guys are reading. Back with the book of the week. It's called A Glimpse of Eternal Snows. It's by Jane Wilson-Howarth. That's how it looks. It's a paperback. I picked this book when I went to Dehradun in December, and I took a short trip to Mussoorie. And for those of you who have gone to Mussoorie, you know there's this famous bookstore which is, I would say, almost become like a historical site. It's called the Cambridge Book Depot. It's where Ruskin Bond comes every Saturday and he signs books for readers. And yeah, it's a very cute bookstore, and every time I'm in Mussoorie I make it a point to stop there. So yeah, I picked this book there. Now coming to the story, but before I go to the story, I would like to read about who the author is, who is Jane, which will kind of give you the background of the author and will also help you in understanding some of the choices that she makes, which is a part of this book. So Jane Wilson-Howarth is a medical doctor and she's a zoologist. She's an authority on travel, health and hygiene promotion. She lived with her family in Nepal for 6 years and has also worked with water aid in South India. She currently lives in Cambridge, UK. She usually manages her time traveling back and forth between Nepal and UK, Cambridge. Now coming to the book. The book, I would say, if I had to describe it in just a line or two lines, it's about a mother's determination to, she has an ill child, and it's about her determination and will to try and give a best chance for her son who is disabled and who is ill, to have a best chance at living a normal life or enjoy whatever life he has left. And it's also a memoir of their time spent in Nepal, so which is basically the premises of the book. Now our two characters, Jane and her husband is Simon. Now Jane is a doctor and Simon is a water expert. He's a civil engineer. And they recently shifted to Rajapur, which is in interiors of Nepal. He's here on an irrigation project, and they shift with their two sons. The elder one is Alexander, and the younger one, who is just born in UK, is David. Now David is born with a whole lot of issues. He has holes in his heart, his kidney does not function, his brain does not function properly, he has cleft lip, and there are a whole lot of issues with him. Now while they are in UK, Cambridge, the hospital seems to have tagged him as an interesting case. So there is innumerable hospital visits and consultations and examinations and tests and injections, and Jane somehow feels that, you know, there is no empathy or sympathy from the doctor's end, because for them he's just an interesting case. There is one test after the another, injections, and the hospital visits never end. So one day she just decides that enough is enough. I can't let my son, you know, whatever life he has left, she knows that he has a short life. So she realizes that whatever life that he has left, I don't want him to spend it like this. We are as it is, and then this irrigation project comes. So as it is, she knows that, you know, they're shifting to Nepal, and she's like, you know, we will go to Nepal and I will look after him. So we all know that she's a doctor, she's capable of that. So she says that this is not what I want for my child. We are going back to Nepal, and I would like my son to be at home and not visit hospital every day. Now we are back in Nepal. So here the author talks about, like I said, one of the portions of the book is, it's a memoir of their time spent in Nepal. She talks about, once they are in Nepal, she talks about the polluted Kathmandu and the scenic you know, village where she says, which is Rajapur, which is really in the interiors. And I think Jane mentions in the book that here what is different is that people don't judge her child. They do not tag him as an interesting case. They are more, they show more compassion to Jane and her family, and especially for David. and she feels that David is having a good time. People are more, loving towards him, and because there's just general love for children around, so she feels that David is safe and having a good time compared to UK. Then throughout the book, she's basically describing the time spent in Nepal, and she talks about how, the love for children that the locals have, and how these, treks that they keep taking to Himalayas as a family tried and kept, things between them sane, and, had brought happy days for their family. She also talks about, because she's a zoologist, so she also talks about a lot of flora and fauna in Nepal. I think it was, when you read about Rajapur, it's actually a village which is in the interiors. It has no electricity and no running water where they are staying. So I think it was very brave of the author to make a home, and at a place like this, coming from UK, Cambridge, where they have a host of amenities and facilities. And she was so brave. She made a home here, and Simon was away on work all the time. And when she shifted to Rajapur, she didn't even know Nepali, to navigate her way. She used to go out. It's funny, some of the incidences are funny, when she used to go out with her son and, take a walk or take a stroll and visit the local market, the local bazaar that they have, which only sold the basics and the plastic stuff. So she talks about how, she would navigate her way not knowing Nepali, and then eventually how she picked up the language. And they didn't have proper toilets, they didn't have electricity, they didn't have beds, they didn't have basic furniture, nothing. But still, I think as a family they came together, they found joy in, like I said, the treks they used to take, and small things like picking up the language and enjoying the scenery of the village. So that is what I think she loves about her time spent in Nepal. And both of them are really trying to give back also to the village while they spend their time in Nepal. So while Simon is here on the irrigation project, he's really trying hard to help the village people with the floods that devastate their life every year during the monsoon season. And Jane is really trying, because she's a doctor, she's trying to advocate hygiene and health related things to the villagers around, and she's trying to heal with whatever she can. So this is what is the major premises of the book. The author, while she talks about the scenic and the beautiful and the peaceful and the calm Rajapur and the idyllic villages of Nepal, she does not shy away and share some of the harsh realities, like she mentioned about the poverty, how people are extremely poor there, and she talks about the problem of prostitution in Nepal. She talks about illiteracy, she talks about the caste system, which is so prevalent even till now, and then she talks about the corruption and the poor health facilities, and people not being aware about basic hygiene and health, especially in the interiors. So yeah, this is what she shares about her time spent in Nepal. Now, my only thing with the book is that you should read it once, but as a reader, I don't know. For me, while the content was not really captivating, like it wasn't something that really kept me hooked. For me, an enjoyable read is that every day I look forward to it and I'm excited after I come back from work to open and read a few pages. But if that's not happening, then as a reader, I'm not invested. So I didn't find that in this book. The content was not really captivating for me. But what the book does is it gives you an insight or a glimpse into the Nepali way of living, and you also develop empathy towards, because you read about the hardships of parents who are bringing up a child who is different, is specially challenged. So all the hardships mentally and physically that they go through, you read about that. And I think that makes you develop an empathy towards those parents, obviously. And I think David, who is the specially challenged baby here, you just love him. He's absolutely a sweetheart, and it's wonderful, you know, the parents, like Jane, she's so strong as a mom. I think David was absolutely lucky to have her as a mom. When you read the book, you realize that David has fabulous, I mean, he lives till 3 years of age, and then when he's 3, he has his sad death. But throughout the 3 years that they spent in Nepal, Jane did everything in her capacity to basically provide David with a happy and safe life as much as she could, which I think full respect for the author Jane. So yeah, that's all on this book. Quickly, in the last, there is a fabulous saying which I think goes well with the author's thoughts. She says that technology hasn't got all the answers, and that sometimes, just sometimes, what is needed is spirituality, time, and some good mountain air. So I think that is what worked, in author's opinion, for David and their family. While they were in UK and Cambridge, they had all the technology. But I think what was really needed for them was to get away, be close to the mountains, have some exposure with spirituality, and yeah, just have quality time with family. And I think that is what was needed, and that is what made David's 3 years, you know, comparatively better and smoother than their time that was spent in UK and Cambridge. So yeah, that's all on this book. I'm gonna see you guys another week, next week, with another title. If you are enjoying the reviews, I hope you enjoy the reviews. If you are, then please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Take care. Bye-bye.